Hi YouTube. I've been playing the Street Fighter 6 Beta today, and it's been an issue. There's been numerous server issues. They've had to do maintenance, which is probably why it's a closed beta test, right? Because they know servers can't handle everything, so they're not just letting everyone, because then everything would be fire. But I played around. I played a bit of Jamie, bit of Guile, bit of Jury. Had fun. I think Jamie is my favorite character in the beta of these 8, but again, I'm either more like very annoying zoner or very annoying grappler. So like none of them really fit my style. But I played a bunch of Jamie, and I noticed a couple of things. That the game is very much about meter management. It's a lot more about stage positioning than usual due to drive impact. Because the thing we didn't really realize about drive impact is that if they're in the corner, it doesn't matter if they're burned out or not. You get a free combo even if they block the drive impact. Like, yeah, if they're in burnout, you get the stun, but you get a free combo. I think there's a limit to how plush you are, but I was playing Jamie and my opponent was in the corner, did drive impact, hit the target combo into the free flow kicks. And then, or just straight into super. Also, drive impact into super. Mwah, perfect. Like that's, you see them drive impacting, you press yours, start fucking churning the input, hit the punch, easy. So what really came from me was the game's a lot more distant, right? Like throw techs throw you full screen basically, and normals they feel a lot longer. Like neutral isn't played like in Street Fighter 5, they're in each other's faces. This is a bit more distant. And then I looked at a thing. So there's this guy called Hudson, who is doing great work, works on the frame assistant tool, and has looked at some stuff. So if you drive rush stuff, you get +4 hit stun and block stun. So the example here is Kimberly's standing heavy punch, which is normally +3, -2. After drive rush, it's +7, +2. So that's useful. That is one of the few ways you can get plus frames. We'll dive into that a bit later. Also, teching is kind of done. You either quick rise or you back roll. Like there's no delayed wake up, which on one hand, I'm sad to see go, but I'm happy new players don't have to lay there for a second and be like, why is everyone else standing up quickly? But I think it would be nice to have an input you could do that would let you stay down longer, because I think it adds depth in order to like change Oki situations. Here's the link to the frame data they're working on, some stuff. So this one really opened my eyes about how drive parrying works. If you just drive parry it, it's normal block stun. And then you have the parry recovery, which is 29 flames, but you can block during them. Then, so parrying doesn't seem that good. But the perfect parry is very good. 1 frame startup, 2 active frames, and then you get a guaranteed punish basically. So the example here is crouching light punch. On frame 1, it's perfect parried. There's 9 frames left, but it only has 1 frame of recovery, so you're +8 and can punish. And it prevents them from doing any kind of canceling if they're trying to do a target combo or into a special or something. So like, if you perfect parry, you get the punish. It's like almost like in Guilty Gear when you get a counter and the screen just goes like, brrr. You get the punish here if you perfect parry. So that's honestly important, like knowing that. And then I went looking into some frame data they collected for Kimberly. And I'm like, okay. So far in the cast, there's no 3 frame normal. It seems like the fastest normal will be a 4 frame, which I think so far everyone had one. And then I started looking at the on block values. So this is Kimberly's normals. Light punch -2 on block. Medium punch -2 on block. Heavy punch -2. Heavy kick +2. Crouching medium kick +1. This game does not have a lot of plus frames. Of course, this isn't every character. This is only Kimberly, which is what Hudson has been working on primarily. But still, this is very different. And then we see Dragon Rush on block. Or Drive Rush. I see deep R, and then I'm like Dragon Punch, but no, it's Drive Rush. From that, then, okay, things start being, you get extra +4 frames. So this is when you can start setting up frame traps, right? Dragon Rush sounds really cool, thank you. I'm glad you agree, Saya. So this is when you can start setting up frame traps and mix. And then I had a thought. Everyone in the beta, outside of Ken, who has other overheads, has a command overhead. Like a command normal that hits overhead. And basically everyone can combo from it if they Dragon Rush or Drive Rush into it. So here it's the windmill kick. On block it is, on hit is +4, on block -3. So from Drive Rush it's +8 if you hit. So like you get to get a good starter, like crouching heavy punch, standing medium kick, standing medium punch. Like you get a solid starter from that. And also just normally if you hit, you get your light starter, light punch. So that's really good. Plus your +1 on block. So I think Drive Rush will be important for setting up situations where you force your opponent to block. And then, oh, am I going high? Am I going low? Or am I going for the throw? So I think that'll be like 3-way mix-up we have going on here. Because everyone has a command overhead. And can combo from it, basically. And I'm not sure whether or not that will shape Street Fighter 6. But from the beta, it feels like it will shape it a bunch. I think that will definitely be a big part of the meta and figuring out. Pressure won't be as long as it is in Street Fighter 5, where you can be like, okay, it's -2, but they're doing a 3 frame, so you have to be careful. Like, if you block, you will have an opportunity to strike back way more than previously. And I'm excited to see how that will get balanced around. Because again, this is a beta version of the game. None of this is finalized, but they're letting us play it and we can look at that. And again, I'm used to playing Guilty Gear, where it's very much Strive, Guilty Gear Strive especially, where it's very much balanced around minus frames. Like, your minus after basically everything. Like, it's very clear when your turn ends. And I'm curious to see how this will shape out. I'm excited to see very good players playing against each other with this knowledge of frame data and what kind of strategies they will develop based on it. But I definitely think Drive Rush will be a big part of that. But yeah, that's my thoughts so far around now 7 hours in, minus some server downtime, so like probably 4 hours playing time realistically. But yeah, I think it's fun so far. I've had fun. Do with that what you will, but those are my thoughts so far. Take care, YouTube people. Hope you can play some Street Fighter 6.